Welcome to second session of Unit 2 of Cellular and Mobile Communications. Here the topic is the mobile point-to-point model. The mobile point-to-point model. Otherwise, it is called the Lee model. The mobile point-to-point model. Otherwise, it is called the Lee model. Here, why it is called the point-to-point model? Nothing but we have to calculate path loss. We have to calculate path loss based upon the different points in a geographical area. We have to calculate what is the signal strength at different points. That is, we have to fix one base station in one place. We have to check the signal strength at the different locations in a coverage area. That's why we are going for the mobile point-to-point model. Here, how to generate this mobile point-to-point model? That is, this mobile point-to-point model having 3 steps. First one is generate a standard condition. Generate a standard condition. Second one, obtain an area to area prediction model. Obtain an area to area prediction model. Third one, obtain a mobile point-to-point model using the area to area prediction model as a base. 3 steps: generate standard condition, obtain an area to area prediction model. Third one is obtain a mobile point-to-point model using area to area prediction model. Here nothing but first of all we are going for area to area prediction model. Based upon that area to area prediction model only, we have to go for point-to-point model finally. Right. Let's move to the first step. A standard condition. A standard condition. Here the standard condition is nothing but. Here what is meant a standard condition? Suppose now I am fixing one base station with a height of 100 meters or 100 feet. It is not covered in a 15 kilometers radius. Again we have to increase the height. How much it is should be increased the antenna height. Sometimes we have to decrease the antenna heights and we have to change the transmitting powers. That is, some correction should be takes place. That is, to generate this standard condition, to provide correction factors. That is, this is a simple table column shows a standard condition. Here the standard condition for both base station case and mobile station case. And what are their correction factors? Here at the base station, suppose what is the transmitted power PT, which is equal to the transmitted power PT, which is equal to 10 watts. Suppose assuming the transmitted power PT, which is equal to 10 watts. Otherwise, we have to convert in dBm. 40 dBm we are getting. Suppose we have to change the power either greater than 10 watts or less than 10 watts. Here, what is the correction factor? That is alpha 1 is the correction factor, which is equal to 10 log PT dash by 10. That is PT dash nothing but how much changing, either increasing or decreasing transmitted power. Next, similarly, antenna height H1. Which is equal to 100 feet. Antenna height H1 equal to 100 feet is nothing but a 30 meter. It is a 30 meter conversion. Suppose antenna height should be either increase the more than 100 feet or decrease the less than the 100 feet, depending upon the location or geographical area. The correction factor is alpha 2, which is equal to 20 log H1 dash by H1. What is the H1? Original antenna height. H1 dash, this is correction, whether increase or decrease it, final one, that is H1 dash. Similarly, antenna gain, GT, nothing but gain of the transmitting antenna or gain of the base station antenna, which is equal to 6 dB per dipole. What is the correction factor? Alpha 3, which is equal to GT dash minus 6. This is the antenna gain. Next, at the mobile unit. The antenna height H2 is 10 feet or 3 meters. Suppose we are not getting signal in your home, then again we have to move to change some place, or you can move your terrace. That's antenna height can be changed now then alpha 4, which is equal to 10 log h2 dash by h2. 10 log h2 dash by h2. h2 is the original height of the mobile station. h2 dash is after changing. Next, antenna gain gm, which is equal to 0 dB per dipole. The correction is alpha 5 is equal to gm dash. That is, these are the some standard condition in left side, and right side go for correction factors, either increasing or decreasing, depends upon the geographical area. This is about standard condition with the correction factors. Next we are going to calculate the area to area prediction model. Nothing but in a particular area, how much we are getting the signal strength. At that time, how it can be changes. That is the effect of human-made structures. Effect of human-made structures. Suppose we are going for urban area, nothing but cities. Is this human-made structures of each city is unique? Nothing but yes, unique. Nothing but different. Unique, nothing but it is not similar. It is different. It is different. It is not a similar one. It is different. That is from one road to another road different. It is not a same structures of buildings. And not the height of the buildings also not same. And the roads also not same. That's why due to effect of human-made structures, the path loss we are getting more from one area to another area. This one, how to calculate? Right, first we have to fix here the center. We are fixing the base station. A dot is there, a black color dot is there. The maximum coverage for each base station is 10 miles. Okay, 10 miles. Right. Now we have to draw circles. We have to draw circles. That is, we have to draw a circle for first mile circle, 5th mile circle, 10th mile circle. 3 first mile, 5th mile, 10th mile. We have to draw circles. Now we are taking your mobile unit and check the signal strength at the different areas. See this one. Within this one mile, we are getting H, and H nothing but high spots. H nothing but high spots. I think but high signal strength is available in the particular area. Next, L is a low spot, that is less signal strength in that particular area. That particular area. That is, we have to calculate up to 10 miles. That is first mile, 5th mile, 10th mile. These 3 circles only we have to calculate the signal strengths and note the H and L values. What is H? High spots, high signal strength. L, low spots, low signal strength. First, you have to note down all these ones. That is propagation path loss curves. Propagation path loss curves for human-made structures. From this picture, we have to draw path loss phenomena. Path loss phenomena, nothing but we are taking x-axis is distance and y-axis is what is the signal strength in terms of dB. For first mile, what are the measured data? Then you have to note down and draw the cross marks. Similarly, for 5th mile, draw the cross marks. Similarly, for 10th mile, draw the cross marks and take average for the first mile, take the average for 5th mile, take the average for 10th mile, and finally, average point we have to draw a curve. That is path loss curve. Path loss curve. Nothing but here see this one. Whenever the distance is increases from the base station to mobile station, automatically we are getting very less signal strength. Very signal strength. This is about area to area prediction model. Here in this area to area prediction model, we have to take a signal strength measurements at different areas. At different areas. And note down high spots and low spots. Once you have to find out high spots and low spots and take a graph, and x-axis is distance and y-axis in terms of signal strength in terms of dB, and note down the high and low spot values and take the average and draw the path loss curve. Therefore, from area to area prediction curves are different because of different man-made structures are there. And these are different from urban areas, suburban areas, and open areas. Open areas. Nothing but finally, the area to area prediction model can be used. The area to area prediction model can be used as a first step. Can be used as a first step toward achieving the point-to-point prediction model. Towards point-to-point prediction model. Nothing but in area to area prediction model, we have to consider two parameters. First one is 1 mile intercept point. 1 mile intercept point. Second one is path loss slope. Path loss slope. Here, what is meant by 1 mile intercept point from base station to mobile station is 1 mile distance. How much power received within the 1 mile? Within the 1 mile distance from the base stations. Right here at this point, we have to follow two general approaches. Two general approaches in a 1 mile intercept point. First one, compare the area of interest. Compare the area of interest with the area of similar human structures. With the area of similar human structure with present curves as shown. Curves as shown, nothing but without calculating the high spots and low spots. Some similar assumptions are there. Suppose one city having like this. Suppose that another city also like similar at that time. Based upon the similar city, you have to take the data. See this one. We are taking x-axis distance, the distance from transmitting antenna, and y-axis is in terms of dB, dB per meter, or dB per microvolt per meter. See this one. In this free space, we are getting P naught, which is equal to minus 45 dBm, and gamma value is 20 dB per decade. Likewise, in open area, they're shown suburban area, New York City, Tokyo, Philippines. Likewise, different cities they are given. Their how much signal strength, how much signal loss. But finally, whenever the distance is increases, automatically the the signal strength would decreases. Suppose if the particular city is not shown, that is, if the human-made structures of a city are different from listed in the previous figure. In the previous figure, they had shown New York, open area, suburban area, free space, and Japan, Tokyo. But other than this, how we can calculate the path loss with respect to 1 mile intercept point? That the steps are: first one, set up a transmitting at the center of a general area. Nothing but we have to build a transmitting antenna at the center of your coverage area. Next, compare the building heights from the others. See, within 1 million area, go and check what is the height of the buildings and compare the one building to another building. Next, take 6 or 7 measured data points around the 1 mile intercept point. That is, within 1 mile radius, we have to take 7 data locations. We have to find and note down what is the signal strength in different data points. And based upon that one, compute the average of 1 mile data points. First one. Next, similarly, you have to note down either 6 or 7 measured data for 10th mile also. First mile also and 10th mile also. Just compare for both 1 mile and 10th mile data and connect together. Finally, the path loss can be obtained. That is, first mile data measured, 10th mile data measured, and draw connecting together. The final we are getting path loss curve. This is about 1 mile up intercept point. Now, suppose how to calculate path loss whenever the area is hilly. Nothing but automatically the path loss can be changes compared to previous one. Here in this case also we have to take more and more data points. More and more data points and try path loss slope. Suppose if the antenna height should be increased due to hill station is there, and heights are increased to cover more area. At that time, HE is nothing but effective antenna height. Effective antenna height. H1 is original height of the antenna. Then effective antenna height gain. Then effective antenna height gain delta G, which is equal to 20 log HE by H1. 20 log HE by H1. Right. See these figures. Path loss phenomena. Path loss phenomena within a 1 mile intercept points with different slopes. See this one. This is the antenna. This is the height of the buildings within the 1 mile. We are locating 3 data points. A point we have to calculate signal strength, B point and C point. Here, see this one from A to B. Get more height of the buildings are there. Nothing but see this one. We are taking the signal strength A point, B point and C point. Finally, the path loss should be decreases. See this one. Now, within the nearest distance of base station, the height of the building are small compared to this one. Here also we are calculating A, B, C. See this one, suddenly change. Suddenly change the signal strength. Similarly, we are calculating for A, all the height of the buildings are same. You see this one, point A, point B, point C. See the curve. See the curve. Nothing but here in both case A here, nothing but in case A, the height of the buildings are nearer to base station is more compared to outskirts. But in here, in this figure, B figure, see this one, the height of the buildings near to the base station is less compared to outskirts. Next, height of the buildings are same. From these all conditions, we have to draw the path loss curve. Right. Now we are calculating the phase difference between a direct path and ground reflected path. A direct path and ground reflected path. How much phase difference is there between direct path and reflected path? Nothing but what is the H1 here? Height of the base station. H2 here. Height of the mobile station. Theta is incident angle. Phi is elevation angle. Direct wave. Reflected wave. Now here see this one. We have to neglect H2 value. Then this is the height is H1 minus H2. And we have to draw based upon the image platform. That is based on the mirror image. It is H1 plus H2. And small d is the distance between base station to mobile station. From this all parameters, we have to calculate the phase difference between a direct path and ground reflected path. Suppose based on direct path and ground reflected path, the received power due to line of sight, nothing but due to direct path. How much received power? That P loss, P line of sight path, which is equal to P naught into 1 by 4 pi d by lambda whole square. All we discussed in first unit how to calculate received power. Here we are calculating due to line of sight path. The received power is P log P LOS, which is equal to P naught into 1 by 4 pi d by lambda whole square. Nothing but this is only line of sight path. What is the P naught here? P naught is transmitted power. P naught is the transmitted power, and T is nothing but the distance between transmitter and receiver, and lambda is the wavelength of a signal. Suppose now the received power, which is the summation of both line of sight path and ground reflected path. That is direct path plus reflected path power. That is PR, which is equal to P naught into 1 by 4 pi d by lambda whole square modulus of AV e power j del phi whole square. Here what is my AV? Reflection coefficient. When we are getting reflection coefficient, whenever the signal is reflected from the ground, we are taking the reflection coefficient. Deflection coefficient. Here generally the reflection coefficient value which is equal to -1. -1. That is, now we are defining an equation of a received power. It is the summation of both direct path and reflection path. Right. Now we have to assume that AV equal to -1. That is the reflection coefficient which is equal to -1 for small incident angle. For small incident angle. then you know that e power j del phi is nothing but cos del phi plus j sin del phi. Substitute here AV value and e power j delta value, then PR which is equal to P naught into 1 by 4 pi d by lambda whole square modulus of 1 minus cos del phi minus j sin del phi whole square. To simplify this equation, PR which is equal to P naught into 2 by 4 pi d by lambda whole square 1 minus cos del phi. That is the cell side adna is less, then automatically we have to neglect this complex conjugate part. And substitute, that is 1 minus cos del phi minus 1 minus j sin del phi, that is a plus b whole square. From the substitute of final we are getting 1 minus cos del phi, then which is equal to P naught into 4 by 4 pi d by lambda square sin square del phi by 2. What is the measurement del phi here? Beta into delta d. What is the del phi? Nothing but the phase difference between direct path and refracted path. That is incident angle and elevation angle, which is depends upon beta times of delta d. What is the beta? Is the phase coefficient. What is the general equation for beta? Which is equal to 2 pi by lambda. General equation. What is the delta d here? The difference between d1 and d2. What is the d1 and d2? d1 is the distance from transmitter receiver whenever the mobile is nearer to base station. d2 is nothing but long distance. Here from this figure we have to calculate the d1 and d2 value. Nothing but d1 which is equal to root of h1 plus h2 square whole square plus d square, dt equal to root of h1 minus h2 whole square plus d square. Just after simplifying d1 minus d2 is equal to 2h1 h2 by d. The finally delta phi which is equal to beta delta d which is equal to 2 pi by lambda 2h1 h2 by d. Right. Then substitute in the received power. The finally the received power PR which is equal to P naught into lambda square by 4 pi square d square sin square 4 pi h1 h2 by lambda d. Right. Here, whenever the phi value is less than 0.6 radians, then sin phi by 2 which is equal to phi by 2. Then simplifies the equation. PR which is equal to P naught into 4 times of 16 pi square d by lambda whole square and 2 pi h1 h2 by lambda d whole square. And after all calculations and simplifies, the PR which is equal to P naught into h1 h2 by d square whole square. Right. Now I have to calculate two relationships. Received power differences. Delta P which is equal to 40 log d1 by d2. Delta G equal to 20 log h1 dash by h1. Here these are based upon the equations from the standard equations. And the height gain, that is delta G is equal to 10 log h2 dash by h2. This is based upon the mobile unit. Right. This is about the differences of phase differences between incident angle and elevation angle. Next, the topic is constant standard deviation. Constant standard deviation. Here's what is meant by constant standard deviation. Here the constant standard deviation nothing but for different reasons, whether it is a open area, whether it is a suburban area, whether it is a rural area, that is total open area, whether it is human-made structure or natural terrains, whatever it may be. Finally, theoretically, we are getting 40 dB path loss, 40 dB per decade path loss. Within the 1 by intercept point, whether the line of sight path, whether the out of sight path, whatever it may be, the maximum standard deviation it is roughly in 8 dB. 8 dB. See this one. X-axis we are taking distance in terms of miles. Y-axis we are taking is signal strength in terms of dBm. In terms of dBm, nothing but Suppose gamma 1 is nothing but open area. Gamma 2 is suburban area. Gamma 3 urban area. Nothing but we have to draw 3 regions. But finally, the maximum difference between all areas we are getting 18 dB. 88 dB. So not 80, 8 dB. That is the finally the predicted path loss curve. The predicted path loss curve is approximately 8 dB only. 8 dB only. Right. The straight line path loss slope. The straight line path loss slope. Here, this path loss curves for may be different from different areas. Is different from different area. That is the thing. But as long as the distance of radio path from the cell site to mobile is increases, the signal strength can be decreases. Suppose you are near to cell phone tower, you get good signal strength. You are from away from the signal tower, automatically away from automatically the signal strength whatever decreases. How much maximum? Decrease 8 dB. At that time, the path loss curve is we have to assume that gamma value. The finally the received power PR which is equal to P naught minus gamma log R by R naught. R is the distance between base station to mobile station. Nothing but I am giving your transmitter power P naught. Now we are taking received power PR. P naught is transmitter power, PR is the received. How much loss? Transmitter power minus received power, we are getting loss. Otherwise, the received power is equal to transmitted power minus loss. That is the path loss curve. Gamma value is 20 for free space. Gamma for 40 is mobile path loss. Right. Finally, from all the predictions, from all the standard deviations, we are calculating the received power for suburban area. Not for urban area, for suburban area. Right. In that suburban area, within a 1 mile intercept level, that is within the 1 mile radius, the problem occurs. That is how much loss is minus 61.7 dBm is the loss gamma value. Minus 61.7 dBm. Then the received power PR which is equal to PT minus 40. 40 dB is the standard loss. 40 dB is standard loss in any equation. That is PR which is equal to PT minus 40 minus 61.7 dBm. That is for suburban area minus 38.4 log R1 by 1 mile plus 20 log H1 by 100 feet plus 10 log H2 by 10 feet plus GT minus 6 plus GM. Why you are taking all these terms? First, transmitter power we want to calculate received power, and standard is 40 dB, and suburban area is minus 61.7. This is enough, but we have to consider correction factors also. Here in these correction factors, we have to consider both height of the base station, height of the mobile station, and what is the distance between base station to mobile station, and their antenna gains. See this one. In the previous one, the first topic of this one. See this one, the standard condition and the correction factor. You have to implement all correction factors in that equation. That's why finally the received power we are getting PR which is equal to PT minus 40 minus 61.7 minus 38.4 log R1 by 1 mile plus 20 log H1 by 100 feet plus 10 log H2 by 10 feet plus GT minus 6 plus GM. This is the received power equation and for suburban area. To simplify above equation, we are going for PR is equal to PT minus 157.7 minus 38.4 log R1 plus 20 log H1 plus 10 log H2 plus GT plus GM. Simplifies. In this PT and PR in terms of decibels, R1 in terms of miles, H1 and H2 in terms of feet, and GT and GM are in terms of decibels. Decibels. Right. But the equation, the standard equation, the finally PR is equal to PT minus, we have to equate minus 156 minus 40 log R1 plus 20 log H1 plus 10 log H2 plus GT plus GM. This is general formula of received power. Thank you very much for attending this session. In this session, we are discussing about a point-to-point model or Lee model. That is, what is the standard condition and their correction factors, and area-to-area prediction model. Based upon the area-to-area prediction model, we developed a point-to-point model on how to calculate path loss curve and how to calculate path loss curve for urban area and semi-urban area and open area, and similarly calculate the final received power equation based upon the transmitted power, height of the base station, height of the mobile station, and the distance between base station to mobile station, and the antenna gains. Have any query, type your query in a chat box.